Shangri-La Part 2 is here, and I still haven't finished farming Part 1's luck gems. This is fantastic. Part 2 of this crossover is really anticipated considering the fact that it's bringing Arthur to the game along with Orkatsu, and I mean, Orkatsu's whatever, but the main thing is Arthur. A lot of people, including myself, looking forward to this unit. So in this video, let's do a should you summon. Let's tell you if these characters are good or not, and if your wallet is in danger. So Orkatsu is going to be a fire damage dealer, which is all about him doing more if his HP is above a certain HP threshold. Like with his True Art, he's able to increase his own accuracy by 150% by default, but if your own HP is above 80%, you reduce the enemy's damage res by 50% HP, and then if your own self is above 50% HP for 25 seconds, you increase your own arc H by 5. So of course, if you're above 80%, you get all the benefits. The super art buffs out everybody's freezing paralysis resist, which is pretty good, and also reduces the enemy's magic res by 150% if you're above 80% HP. In terms of the passives, he has one that's able to increase his arc H by 200 and heal his own HP by 100% when near death. He also is able to buff up his own damage by 2% of his own attack and defense divided by 100. He's also increasing his own damage by 2% of his own attack and defense. And when his HP is above 80%, you increase your own arc H by 4 per second. So the entire thing about Orkatsu is that he wants to be above that 80% HP threshold pretty much all the time. If he's not above it, then he don't want it. Which means in sustaining teams, you're going to definitely want to make sure you run him alongside a healer, someone like Haruto or Mako. And if you're running him in nuking, then you just want to make sure that you're able to nuke the boss before he deals any type of major damage to you, or you're not going up against like Ifrit, where he instantly drops everybody's HP to like 1 health. Granted, that will kind of benefit this character since his passive will go off and he'll heal instantly, but definitely just have to play around with it. He pretty much has a get out of jail free card at least once due to that passive. All in all though, Orkatsu really looking like a character that just is mainly used in some nukes here and there. I don't think this character is insane. Don't think he's bad. Just feel like he's very middle of the road, decent unit. If you get him, you're going to be able to find uses for him here and there. The next character is not middle of the road at all, which is Arthur. Arthur has a lot, and I really do mean a lot, going for her. Her entire kit is about buffing up your art gauge, reducing the enemy's break res, breaking the enemy, or just buffing up her own damage to ridiculous amounts. As you see with the art, you're able to reduce the enemy's break res by 40%. True Art's able to give you that art gauge. Mind you, this type of art shitting stacks with pretty much every single other archer in the game. The only archers that don't stack with her are the characters that have the exact same true art. So think of characters like 12th generation Mizuki, Ilya for an example. All those characters, the type F characters, will not stack with this one. Her super art is very interesting since this thing is allowing you to increase your current break power by 150% if you use your super art right after using your art, and then if you're using your super art right after using your true art, you increase your own super art damage by 300%. Another thing she has that is like really strong is her unique passive, where when a boss is broken, you reset all physical equipped CTs instantaneously. And you may have seen a few people do this. I know Mirai did it. He was fighting the training boss and he was able to get a constant break loop happening every single time due to this passive and of course the other units on the team. So in theory, you can do that against a multitude of different bosses and keep them constantly in break. But I think it's going to be a little bit harder than a lot of people suspect if you're going to be wanting to go for that break looping team. She's going to be used everywhere, and not only that, the fact that she's also a breaker means that she kind of fills 2 roles, so you never have to worry about, oh, do I have a breaker? Well, your breaker is your archgener. A lot of people are comparing this character to Chloe, which I think is definitely accurate since her and Chloe share very similar kind of gameplay plans and also are really strong in terms of being this breaker and support character. And while you can utilize Arthur and Chloe together if you want to, since they're archgen stacks, they both will kind of benefit each other since they want to break the enemy. If you already have one and you use one quite a bit, I don't think you actually need to go for Arthur. Not like it would hurt having Arthur, it's just I don't think it's as necessary as some people are making it out to be if you already have a Chloe at your disposal. But if you don't have Chloe, that's where all this gets interesting, and it leads perfectly into should you summon or should you not? Like I told you in the 6th anniversary survival guide, highly recommend that you guys do at least a multi-summon on this banner, bare minimum. We don't want to go broke or anything for these characters since Star God Lisa is so freaking close. Even if you are someone who is more a veteran player and you have a lot of support characters already, picking up Arthur just to have this character at your disposal to do, you know, kind of gimmicky stuff with like break looping and other stuff, and just using her as kind of the main breaker in certain situations would be very beneficial as well. Since the Ascended Breakers list is kind of small, like you really only have what, Chobei, Arthur, Chloe, and that's it. Like that's literally it. There's no one else that really is a breaker, at least right now on global. So having that in your disposal, you know, just always in your back pocket would be extremely beneficial. But either way, that's gonna be it for this video, man. Thank you all again for coming out. It's been your boy OP. Comment down below, you guys gonna be summoning for Arthur, or are you gonna be skipping and just saving everything for Star God Lisa, or are you saving for the reset on Sunraku, or are you possibly going for one of the Valentine's Day characters? Let me know all that type of stuff down below in the comment section. Oh, and one more thing before you leave, don't forget to drink water.